Hello and welcome to Levant TV headlines. Syrian Kurdish forces have reportedly retaken control of several villages and a military base in northern Syria as they continue their advance into ISIL-held Raqqa province. An ISIS terrorist has been killed by a group of Syrian Druze residents in the occupied Golan Heights as he was being transported to Israel for treatment. Senior Israeli and Turkish officials have held a secret meeting in the Italian capital, Rome, to discuss the restoration of relations between Ankara and Tel Aviv. Forces from Libya's internationally recognized government have warned European countries that any vessels entering Libyan waters without permission would be targeted by airstrikes after EU foreign ministers agreed to launch a naval operation to combat people smugglers. And German authorities have released Al-Jazeera journalist Ahmed Mansour without charge after he was detained on Saturday by police at Berlin's Tegel airport on an Egyptian arrest warrant. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting with the Egypt Independent, which leads reporting that an independent British investigation has revealed that the UK government communications headquarters had spied on the Egyptian Initiative for Personal Rights, a human rights organisation, among other NGOs. The paper also reports that the Egyptian army is digging a trench in northern Sinai along the border with Gaza in an effort to prevent smuggling as the government steps up activities to prevent militant attacks that often target security forces. From Lebanon, the Daily Star leads, reporting that the head of the Internal Security Forces Information Branch vowed to block attempts to usher Lebanon's largest prison back to an era of impunity 5 months after security forces first stormed the notorious facility. The paper also reports that Lebanon's state security has detained a group of Syrians accused of forging general security seals several months after the government imposed tough entry restrictions on Syrian nationals. From the UAE, the Khalij Times leads, reporting that UN investigators said that Israel and Hamas committed grave abuses of international humanitarian law during the 2014 Gaza conflict that may amount to war crimes, and called on all sides to cooperate with the International Criminal Court, ICC, which has opened a separate preliminary investigation. The paper also reports that a prominent Saudi comedian who has mocked the Daesh group and Islamist in Saudi Arabia has said he shall not be deterred after receiving online threats. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines from the UK papers. The Guardian leads its Middle East news, reporting that ships from Norway and Denmark have picked up nearly 1,000 migrants from small boats off the coast of Libya in the past 24 hours. Sven Kavalavag, the captain of the Norwegian CM pilot vessel, said he picked up 671 people from 2 wooden boats north of the Libyan capital, Tripoli. The Telegraph leads its Middle East news, reporting that the Pentagon says a US airstrike in northern Iraq has killed an Islamic State operative who was a person of interest in the 2012 Benghazi attack. Pentagon spokesman Colonel Steve Warren said Tariq bin al-Tahar bin al-Fali al-Anwani al-Harzi of Tunisia was killed in Mosul on June the 15th. And the Independent reports that 2 children have reportedly been crucified by ISIS for not fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. The boys, believed to be under the age of 18, were killed in Syria and their bodies displayed with placards hung around their necks announcing their crime. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in the international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle reports that Kurdish-led forces have said they have captured a military base from the Islamic State in Syria's Raqqa province, which the terrorist group had held since capturing it from Syrian military last September. And finally, the Global Times reports that authorities are imminently close to confirming the death of one of Australia's most wanted men, Islamic State terrorist Mohammed El-Omar, according to Australia's Foreign Minister. But Julie Bishop said that Australia was still seeking verification regarding the reported death of the Sydney man, Khalid Sharoof, who gained worldwide attention when he and his son posed for photos with the severed head of a Syrian fighter. And for more updates, please visit Levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.